with Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Grow Show, your daily checkup from the neck up. I'm excited because it looks like we got the kinks worked out on Instagram this week. So we are back streaming over there at Kyle Evans KW. If you want to check us out on that platform, that's awesome. Guys, do I have an idea for you today? Do I have a little ditty, if you will, something to think about. You know, I stay in that mental performance game, coaching, speaking to that. I want to give you a little mental performance checkup today. I want to give you a, a benediction. I want to give you a thing to do, a goal, an ideal to live for. Today, I'm calling treat every day like a closing day. Do we treat every day like a closing day? Some of you are like, Kyle, I haven't had a closing since Nam. I don't even remember what it feels like to act like a closing day. Some of y'all are like, every day is closing day because, baby, I'm doing 400 deals a year. Wherever you are on that spectrum, at one end, at the other, somewhere in between, an idea for you to consider, an offering for you today, is to treat every day, whether you have a closing or not, like it's a closing day. Give me your attention for a moment. I want you to really think about this. Like, how did you move on your last closing day? How did you move? How did you show up? That energy, right? You know what I'm talking about? Can't tell me nothing. That clarity, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know where I'm going to be. I know why I'm going to be there. The gratitude, man, I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful to pay my bills. Grateful to get this family to the destination that they desire. The urgency, like, ooh, we got to hit that time. Did you dress different? Did the way you show up, was that different? The way you talked, the way you carried yourself, was it different than your average Tuesday, if you will? Closing day, more often than not, becomes the most, I guess I would call it, focused version of ourself. It's the day where everything we've been working for sometimes months, man, sometimes years, finally materializes. It's the day where the dots connect and the work finally pays off. As I want you to imagine, if you walked into every morning with that same kind of energy, imagine what would happen to your production. Imagine what would happen to your confidence, your presence, your business, your belief. Today, we are going to break down how to live like that on a random Tuesday. Not once a month, once a week, once a quarter. But how can we carry this type of energy, this swag, if you will, every single day? I want you to think about your closing day self. Picture it. Close your eyes here for a second. Let's play along. Put yourself back there, your last closing, your last great closing day. What was the feeling in your chest? What was the rhythm going on in your body, in your beat, in your steps, in your movement? How's that energy humming around you? Closing day, you're clear, you're prepared, you're grateful, professional, you're dialed in. Lord knows you're on time. You're intentional with every conversation because it matters. You're expectant. You're hopeful. You're focused. You're usually in the moment. Open your eyes, feel that energy, feel that rhythm. Here's the truth most people never say out loud. Guys, we're not like that because we have a closing. We have a closing because at some point we were like that. The closing day is the receipt for a version of you that has been showing up for weeks. All the conversations, all the follow up, all the due diligence, all the hard work, all the lead generation, all the tiny decisions. Closing day is your harvest. The problem for most agents is simple. They wait for the harvest to feel like a farmer instead of always acting like a farmer so they can always experience the harvest. Closing day shouldn't be a result. Closing day should be a state. It is a state, and states can be recreated. So today, if you're vibing with me, if you're here for this Tuesday talk, let's learn, let's dive into maybe a few ways that we can recreate this idea, this energy, this swag, this movement of closing day every day. Let's break this down step by step. The morning of a closing, right? On a real closing day, we do three things naturally. We wake up probably grateful or relieved for some of us. We're aware of the opportunity. We are aware of the opportunity that day. So we feel a little more blessed to do the work. There's some sort of gratitude energy in the moment. That's what we do first. Second, we're preparing, double checking, confirming, sending messages, reviewing the file, making sure there are no loose ends. We're locked in. Ladies and gentlemen, third, we protect the day. We guard the schedule because I got to be there. I got to put my John Hancock on that contract. I got to make sure you spelled the name right on my check. We show up on time. We speak clearly. More often than not, we looked polished. We want everything to go well because something important that day is happening. Now I want you to reverse engineer that into a daily practice. What would your life look like? Come on, somebody, be here with me. What would your life look like if you woke up with that grateful energy every morning? What would your life look like if you prepared, locked in for the day every morning? What would your life look like if every morning you protected your time and guarded your schedule? You would live in a closing day state, and your calendar would fill with closings as a result because you were living it every single day. Man, next, we can't forget, we got that closing day checklist, baby. How would I behave today if I was getting paid tonight? How would I behave today if I was getting paid tonight? You see, the problem with real estate, the struggle that most agents have is they find it hard to correlate the actions they're taking today with a closing day months and months, maybe years down the line. They struggle to connect the dots. And because of that, they don't behave today like they're getting paid today. And so when they don't behave today like they're getting paid today, they dang sure don't get paid tomorrow. Here's your closing day checklist for your mind. Gratitude before you get on the doom scroll. 30 seconds. That's all I ask. 30 seconds. 3 sentences to acknowledge the fact that you get to build a business today. You get to show up that way. You get the opportunity to be your own business. Do you understand? That's a powerful thing. And most people will never get to do that for one reason or another. So before you get swept up into the river and carried downstream from that little prison cell called a phone, I want you to spend 30 seconds to acknowledge the gratitude in your life. Next, I want you to suit up mentally and physically. Here's an idea to consider. I want you to dress one level higher than you feel. One level higher than you feel. Look good, feel good. Posture changes presence. Presence changes performance. Posture changes presence. Presence changes performance. Your second checklist box is to suit up mentally and physically. Number 3, maybe most important, I want you to run the day. I want you to run the day. I don't want you to let the day run you. Closing day energy says the schedule is sacred. Closing day energy says I got a closing at 1 p.m. Come hell or high water. My butt's going to be in that seat at 1 p.m. Your time block is not optional. Why? Because your money's on the line. I want you to show up like that every single day because I got news for you. Your money's on the line. The lives that you can help are on the line. Your time block is not optional. The fourth check on your checklist is double check your people. On closing day, you are in communication with everyone who matters: the clients, the attorneys, the financing, your admin, the team. You're locked in. You're talking to the people that matter. What if we made that the daily standard, not the suggestion, the standard? What if we made the daily standard talking to the people that matter in our database, talking to the current clients, talking to the active leads, talking to the pipeline, talking to our warm follow-up? What would our life look like if that was the standard and not the suggestion? I'll tell you what would happen. It would be the fifth checkbox. Expect good things. Closing day, we walk with momentum because we are expecting good things. I want you to carry that same level of internal expectation into your daily conversations because people can feel it. People trust it. People respond to it. This checklist, these 5 things, it's your calibration tool. It realigns your mindset and your behavior so they are not waiting for results to feel powerful. They feel powerful, which produces the results. Gratitude before the phone prison, suiting up mentally and physically, running the day, not letting the day run us, double checking on our people and expecting good things. This is the standard, not the suggestion. This makes you feel powerful, so the results come. This is walking in conviction. Kyle, that all sounds great, but prove it. What about some science behind it? Guys, when you treat an average Tuesday like a closing day, you trigger 3 performance changes. Number one, there is an elevated emotional state. Gratitude and celebration increase dopamine. Dopamine increases drive and discipline. When we are tagging the dopamine, we're getting into the flow. We are in an elevated state. Number two, it causes identity activation. Closing day energy says, I am a professional. I did this. Where identity rises, behavior follows. Where identity rises, behavior follows. Where identity rises, behavior follows. More agents feel like they're supposed to be doing this on that closing day. They feel professional. They feel like, hey, I got this. I can do this. I can make my dreams work. That needs to be your identity. Because when your identity, your internal self talk matches that, your behaviors will follow that. Number one, elevated emotional state comes from the gratitude. Number two, identity activation. I am a professional. I am good at this. Number three, pattern recognition. People want to work with people who look like they win often. We used to say this in the bar business, a crowd draws a crowd. Closing day energy reads as leadership. Leadership attracts opportunity. Closing day energy reads as leadership. Leadership attracts opportunity. You're simply going to manufacture an environment mentally and physically that produce your best work. It's that simple. It's that simple. Your greatness is not born from a mood. It's born from ritual. I want to make this concrete for you. How many deals fell through because you were casual in your follow up? How many referrals never came because we, never checked in? How many listings did we miss because we were tired or distracted? How many opportunities passed because we did not show up with confidence? On closing day, ladies and gentlemen, none of that happens. On closing day, we follow up. On closing day, we call back. On closing day, we confirm. On closing day, we communicate. On closing day, we walk tall. On closing day, we don't hide. Imagine running 6 months with this standard. Would your business double? Would your pipeline warm? Would your reputation shift? Would your posture strengthen? Would your identity crystallize? Every day is a brand day. Every day is laying the groundwork for a future payday. Every day is a brick in the wall of who we are becoming. I want you to live like that, and no market will be able to ignore you. When you wake up tomorrow, heck, you can do it today. I want you to say something important is happening today, and I am ready for it. Then I want you to hit that checklist we discussed. I want you to honor your schedule. And then I want you to carry yourself like someone who expects to win. Watch what shifts. Watch how people respond to you. Watch how your energy begins to sharpen. Watch how your opportunities begin to multiply. Most people wait for momentum. It's why they never get it. Leaders, you and I, we create it. You don't need a contract to walk like a closer. You need a decision. If you build these muscles now, you walk into 2026 stronger than you've ever been. Treat today like closing day, even if nothing is closing. Heck, especially because nothing is closing, because one day something will, and you will already be the person capable of receiving it. Now get out there and go build the future self that your life is counting on. I love you. I mean it. And I care enough to have these conversations with you. That is your daily checkup from the neck up today. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.
Grow with Kyle Evans.